What is up, fighters? Today we're looking at patch 6.5. It hit today and a few things have changed that you should know about. I'm going to revamp this format a little bit. I think patch videos are really useful, but I want to just highlight the biggest buffs, nerfs, and who I think is going to be really strong this patch. See if you guys agree with me or leave what you think is big this patch below in a comment. So first up, Jarvan. Holy crap, they really went overboard with this one. His ultimate dealing damage to everyone caught in it is now pretty huge for teamfights. It will do so much damage. I could actually see this doing a lot of work in lane 2. Like imagine if you get ahead and then if someone tries to gank him, like he does that much damage to the laner and the jungler. Now you can obviously go in the jungle with him as well. I think he could be good, but his clear speed is still kind of low. His lane phase is already okay though. You do decent damage and now you have some good kill potential. The reason I think this is kind of over the top is like, if you look at his ult anyway, it has some good base damage, but it also has a 150% bonus AD ratio. Now if you build damage, you will do so much. Like welcome back to full damage assassin Jarvan. One of the bigger nerfs this patch was to Kog'Maw, actually probably the biggest nerf. He deserved it, let's be real, but it's not as big as you actually might think. Now they are removing the attack speed from his W, but they're giving it some on hit damage and crazy attack speed growth per level. Remember as well, on hit is so good on Kog because it applies fully even when his W is active and he's attacking so quickly. He won't be as strong early now, he's actually back to being a hyper carry, which is what he's supposed to be. Like you'll probably get screwed in lane and early team fights, but later into the game you will still do what Kog has been doing and just stand there and kill everyone. Overall, I think it's really kind of up to the people he's against. Like if they pick a strong lane and beat him early, then I think he's manageable, but if it does go to late game, then he'll still wreck. The Soraka change is weird. It's kind of a nerf and a buff, I guess. Like it's actually kind of a rework, is odd. So we're just going to break it down. The Starkle, her Q now slows everyone in the circle, and instead of healing when it hits, it heals you every second for 4 seconds, plus a little movement speed buff when you're running away from enemies. Her actual heal is down by quite a bit, but if you have that rejuvenation, that healing over time on you from when you hit your Starkle, like if you heal someone when you have that, then it also gives them the healing over time on top. Basically, if you've hit someone with a Q and have that healing ticking on you, healing someone else will give them that heal and it will give them that healing over time too. All in all, when we're looking at this, I would take this healing over time and lose 40 health from my base heal any day. I think that's worth it. At rank 5 of that rejuvenation, that's 22 health per tick, by the way, so you're actually gaining almost double what we lost. Soraka really did not need a buff, but now I think she'll be even more ridiculous, especially at lower ranks where it's harder to deal with her. Now Vi also got a decent buff this patch, well actually a really good one for her jungle clearing. I don't really think Vi struggled that much with her farming wise anyway, but this makes her a lot easier to manage in the jungle. The E damage is way up. I'd probably start with this most games now as your first like skill when you're starting your clear, and yeah, it's also helping ganks, but the main point is her clear speed. Vi is a good champion anyway. She does a lot of damage, can build tanky, and locks down anyone with a point and click ultimate that's really long range. It's especially good against this kind of meta like assassins and high damage people because they can't dodge it and it gives your team time to kill them. She's definitely going to be a good strong pick this patch. So these 3 champions you can see now all got nerfed this patch, but they aren't going to majorly affect how strong they are. Nautilus used his E mainly for wave clear, so that is down a bit, but you build a Sunfire so you won't really feel it that much. Talon's ultimate costs more and has a higher cooldown, but I don't know, if you've played against a Talon recently, you'll know that he doesn't even need the ultimate to kill people anyway. He will be worse for sure, but he'll still do a ton of damage. Basically, he just doesn't snowball as hard anymore, like he actually has to wait a little bit between killing people. Pantheon was definitely the biggest nerf out of these 3, and he did deserve it. He's so overpowered right now. The damage is almost the same early, like you won't feel it in the lane phase at all. You max your E second, the first thing you get is your Q, that's your main damage in lane, so until like what, level 10 or something, you wouldn't even put a second point into this. The ratio is a bigger deal than the base damage, but again, early into the game you don't have much AD, so ratios aren't as important. You won't really see this reduction make a major difference to your damage until like late game, but by then most Pantheon games are already over. The ultimate nerf is more punishing if you cancel now, but let's be honest, most people didn't cancel that anyway. So I've already said I think Jarvan will be super strong this patch, but here's my second one. I can't believe I'm actually saying that Urgot is going to be really strong. I hate playing him and I hate playing against him as an AD main, but yeah, in theory this guy should be really good right now. This happened last season. Remember when he was stupidly overpowered? It was mainly because AD assassins and AD carries were strong, and that's exactly what we have now. So I don't know about practical wise, but in theory wise, he fits perfectly. He is designed to shut down carries that build AD. He shreds your armor to be basically 0 and kills you from so far away while taking no damage and building relatively tanky. These changes are actually nice anyway. They let him survive in teamfights for longer after swapping. But yeah, I think this is kind of the nudge that might make people realize he's good again in certain situations. Now there are 2 other decent changes here to mention for items. Devourer did get slapped with a nerf. It's not the biggest, but Rift Herald was a nice way to stack it quicker. The thing is, okay, most players don't even take that in the game. Sure, if you did and it led to the Devourer getting sated way too soon, but most did not bother. In reality, if you're a player who did not take Herald often playing Devourer junglers, which is probably most of you, just like me, then you don't have anything to worry about. If you did, then you'll just be getting there a little bit slower. A Guardian Angel buff is really nice. It makes this a better purchase on AD carries, but also on lower health champions in general. The scary thing for me now is like Zed and Talon can legit buy a Guardian Angel like 3rd or 4th item, and I have to manage to survive while killing them twice, and that is not cool. The good thing is AD carries can now get away with building this earlier into the game, like 3rd item maybe if they're against a really fed assassin, and it at least gives us some kind of answer to it. Ideally, like Asterix is better. It's more damage and it's not kind of full defense panic mode, but if that's not enough to save us, then at least we have this now. This goes without saying, but still, if you don't need a GA, then don't buy it. It's still a lot of gold invested into something that doesn't help you kill things. I put more effort than usual into this patch video. I wanted to step up my game with these and make them more useful for you guys. If you enjoyed this format, let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and for now, as always, let's go to the robots.